yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no!
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Folks, those great intros come from Mr. T, a strong supporter of what we're doing here, which is trying to wake people up, trying to help ourselves continue to wake up. And there's so many people that don't believe that Democrats have said, hell yeah, we're coming for you. They don't believe that Joe Biden actually said, we put in the biggest, his admission, whether it's a Freudian slip or an accident, that they put together an election fraud team. I mean, everything that we fear as Americans who love freedom, they're admitting to in their own words. So we're using them in these introductions. It's like, wow, they actually said that stuff. They're actually doing these things to us. They're coming out and saying, yeah, we want you to eat bugs. They're trying to get us to eat impossible meat, which is not meat. Right? They can't call it chicken or beef, pork or turkey, but they're calling it meat. Right? They say it tastes like beef, but it's not beef. Folks, we have a serious food supply issue. This is not fear porn. Do not run through the house screaming like a child. Don't throw yourself on the floor in a tantrum. We're not in that kind of trouble, but the cost of food is going up, up, up. And it is a very sharp rise. It's not just this dwindling up, 2-3% a year anymore. It's much sharper. That does not mean panic, right? We've seen this other issue, which has worried me a lot, and then not as much, and then a little more. And it depends on your perspective, right? If there's 20 fires in food production facilities, how big are the facilities? Are they completely shut down? What kind of problem does that create? Well, if it's not a big deal, we don't need to panic. Now, the food supply issue for babies, the baby formula issue. I thought at first, well, how bad can it be? And then it was a national crisis with empty shelves and parents worried and not having food for their babies. That pissed me off, worried me tremendously. And on top of that, we discovered that Biden sent a bunch to Ukraine and that Biden sent a bunch to our southern border. And it's sitting in warehouses for other people's babies, not American babies. So I've come to realize that, yeah, we have a lot of things happening. In some ways, it's not so bad, but in others, it is very bad. What is particularly disturbing is the sheer number of small accidents that are occurring in this country. Now, there are some big ones, like that giant chicken egg farm that burned to the ground in the middle of the night. Right? Who knows how many chickens were killed, but it was a huge egg-laying, shall we say, agricultural operation. Gone. Removed from the market. Gone. Now, that was a big one. Here's another one. One of the largest chicken producers in the country, George's, has announced it's closing its Tennessee plant. Okay. Do they have other operations? I'm sure they do. Are they planning maybe to expand and grow into those other operations? And could this have something to do with the cost of feed in the area? The location isn't the best. Other locations are better suited for their growth in the future. Let's hope so. But at this particular time, it's very bothersome when a large plant from one of the largest companies in the country announces they're going to shut down. Because it comes at a time when the appearance of a dwindling food supply is upon us, combined with inflation taking prices up already. What can you do about this? Well, if it's allowed in your area by HOAs and local ordinances, then you get your own chickens and you learn how to raise chickens, right? And you buy food for chickens and you figure out how to take care of chickens and you get your own eggs and chicken meat if that's what you want to do. Works great. I've had chickens in the past. Okay. It's work. Everything is work. Nothing is easy, right? About the easiest thing on the planet you can do is apple trees. It doesn't take a whole lot of time and you just wait for the apple harvest. Now, chickens are more work, right? But here's the deal, folks. If you can't raise chickens, what's the solution? Right? We don't have a good short or long-term solution if you can't raise your own chickens. One backup you can do, though, is buying long-term food storage products. That is a backup solution to get us through intermittent issues with delivery to stores and the market. Buying food today. Do you recall last year and the year before when I said, hey, food is no longer just for emergencies. Food storage is insurance for you. And now food storage, we've been saying for the last 3 years, is an investment. Because if food goes up 15, 20% in a year, and this was what we were saying 3 years ago, food goes up 15%, you just made 15% on your money. It's a small investment compared to people who can invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market. But for us little people, food investment is critical, right? And if it goes up 15, 20%, folks, we're seeing a lot more than that. Gasoline, 100% in a year. Food, anywhere from 20 to 80%, sometimes more, depending on which food we're talking about. You know, $1 a pound, now $2 a pound, can become $4 a pound for chicken. What kills me is chicken nuggets that come in a box. You know, that's whatever they can press into a nugget with some bio goop, bread it, fry it, and say, hey, that's chicken. Eat that. And they're charging $4 a pound for that garbage. Well, we can digest it. It becomes food, I guess, to our tummies, but good golly. Right? But it's becoming more expensive. So food is an investment. It's insurance. It's peace of mind. Now, I recommend going to the preparedmind.club, where we have links to a variety of prepper products that someone might say is also a personal investment in your peace of mind, right? Your personal security, and an insurance program against what is happening right now, because we have a food supply issue. It is a food supply issue because we're continuing to get these stories. Now, again, are all the supermarket shelves empty? No, they're not. But relative, and this is a perspective thing, relative to the rest of the world, the United States of America is having more closures, more government shutdowns of facilities, more fires and explosions, more accidents than any other country on the planet per capita or per incident. That is what I like to say, very disturbing, and should keep our attention, not, looking at that always. But if you didn't know where your next meal was coming from, your focus in life would be your next meal. If you didn't have more than 3 or 4 days of food, then hearing that the supermarket is out of a type of food or an entire selection of food, or that they were rationing food, you would be thinking a lot more about, where is my next meal? Where is next week's meals coming from for myself and my family? As a prepper, if you've got 2 months, 3 months, 6 months worth of food that you have paid for with your hard-earned money after paying taxes, your food security will give you peace of mind, so you don't have to worry about your next meal or next week. You don't have to worry about your family, your children eating, but you can worry about what is most important. And that can change on a daily basis. It can change very quickly. So not having to worry about food is what being a prepper is about. Peace of mind, security, insurance. And in some ways, it feels like an investment because the cost of food continues to go up and what you paid was much lower. That's going to continue to be the case as we're seeing inflation steadily marching up and up and up, and the promise of more by the Biden administration. Do we have a disaster coming? I pray we don't. Could we have interruptions? I pray not. The likelihood of something happening, it appears it is becoming greater. So what's the solution? Chance favors the prepared mind. Go to thepreparedmind.club. We have affiliates there that provide you with the items you need for peace of mind and for security. Because prepping is not just about food, and it's not just about wacko lunatics on the street. It's everything: food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. It's everything. I'll see you at the next Q&A session this afternoon. And I want to thank you for supporting us through subscribestar.com at The Prepared Mind, folks. And on YouTube, be sure and share this internet address right up there. Share that with others so they too can start to think about what's going on, so they can be prepared and not taken by surprise or put in a situation they find far too uncomfortable. I'll see you soon. Godspeed. Semper Fi.